We're here today with Coach Matthew Hawn, who worked at Sullivan Central High School in the Sullivan County school system. And if you could just sort of explain the situation you're in right now and understand you're appealing the decision of the Sullivan County Board of Education concerning your employment.
Yeah, because I'm a tenured teacher, there's a three-step appeal process. I've exhausted the first two steps in those appeals, and this third step is an appeal to the Chancery Court, and we are filing something soon.
And I understand the deadline to file that's coming up very soon. So,
Yeah.
assuming that is filed by the deadline, which I'm sure it will be, you're going to be represented by the Tennessee Education Association through some attorneys in Nashville.
Yes, there's some attorneys from the K. Griffin in Nashville.
And it will be in Sullivan County Chancery Court.
Sullivan County Chancery Court.
In a nutshell, I know this isn't a legal proceeding by any stretch, but you've been through some proceedings so far. Explain sort of why you feel that you should be, given your position back and your job back, and then, in a nutshell, just why you think that you're on the right side of this.
Yeah, I mean, I still, like I've said, I have confidence in my case, and I'm hoping that, I guess that's really all I can say is just that I have confidence in my case. Yeah.
And some of your former students and a couple, maybe one or two current ones, have spoken out on your behalf. Some of whom were not in agreement necessarily with everything that some of the readings said, but they still thought that you were doing appropriate things and that you should be allowed to continue. What did you feel like when you first heard that the independent hearing officer had basically upheld the school board's decision about your employment, had agreed that they had grounds to terminate your employment? How did you feel at that point?
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was devastated. It was a very difficult day. And despite all the support and all those things, it's still, it's still a personal matter almost. Like, you hear that the decision was upheld, and, you have these hopes of getting back into the classroom, and you think, all right, I get to go back and be where I belong, and to not have that on that date, that was hard. That was a difficult thing to hear.
You've said publicly and in past interviews that your intention and your goal is to be back teaching, not just somewhere, but back in Sullivan County.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen for whatever reason, do you still plan to be teaching somewhere if that is what can be accomplished?
Yeah. Or? I don't know. I think, the classroom is where I belong. With this process, I don't know if that's even possible, because at some point the state will review my license, and I don't know if they would. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been led to understand, is that the state will review my license. I don't know that for a fact, but if that happens, and then they may revoke my license. So I don't know. I hope that I'm back in Sullivan County.
And through all this, you had support from some of the folks who provided some of the content that was at issue being presented, as well as from folks who gave money to your cause through GoFundMe and gave you moral support. How does that feel to have people some of whom never knew you until this happened, and others who knew you as a teacher or a coach, come back and sort of give you an attaboy kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, I'm very grateful for their support. This process has been difficult, but that support has, buoyed me through this whole thing. And, there's been times where this has been difficult emotionally, mentally, physically, but, during those times there was always someone to reach out and say, hey, we support you. Hey, you're a good teacher, you're a good friend, or a good person. And, that was uplifting.
And I guess at the core of all this, what the case against you seemed to concentrate on was sort of not following past directives as to, what to teach and how to teach it, not presenting differing points of view. And I know you said that as far as some things, there is no defensible point that there hasn't been white privilege, for instance, and that you tried to give all different sides. I mean, you can't give all sides, but to give a variety of sides for issues. And you still believe that what you were doing fit into the rules and the policies that the school system at least should have, and what the state should be doing. I think you're sort of contesting how they're interpreting that.
Because I continue to do this, I still believe that. Yeah. Anything
else you'd like to say to the folks out there, or to your detractors or your supporters?
No, I mean, this has been difficult, but this is my home, and they're great people here. There are intelligent people here. There are well-meaning people here, and I've heard from all of you, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm just a good old Bloomingdale Orbank kid, and so I'm very thankful to have been raised in this community and and continue to be embraced by my community. It's been that's been very, very uplifting, and it's been very good to see.
You attended Sullivan North, graduated from there, and then Tennessee Tech.
I'm a Golden Raider, that's right, and a Golden Eagle. And
where'd you go to elementary, middle school?
Well, I started at Orbank Elementary, and then I went to Kingsley, so I was a Wildcat, and then I went to Ketron, and I was a Wildcat again, and then was a Golden Raider, and then I went to Tennessee Tech and became a Golden Eagle, and then I got my master's from Union College in Kentucky, and then my EDS from Lincoln Memorial.
So, except for Lincoln Memorial and Tennessee Tech, there's one other one, Tuscaloosa, or you didn't go to Tuscaloosa. Mm-hmm. All of us, unfortunately, I guess in a way, all the schools like North is no longer there, right. Kingsley.
All those schools are, Ketron is still an elementary school, but
it's not
it's not a middle school or a high school like it was whenever my parents went there.
I appreciate your help. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's good. Thank you, Rick.